that is badass, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bud. Fucking A, bro. Yeah. Now, what was? Thanks, man. Hell yeah.
Watch what nuts do to our body. A walnut is really good too. Cashew is not a nut. I know cashews are delicious, but...
Hey guys, it is a chilly January on Corey's garage, and we've hit a stopping point. We've run out of stuff to do with everything. I need a little bit more time on the Blazer for that passenger seat. I'm trying to rebuild that new bracket. I need to find a pivot ball for Eddie's clutch because I tried to take the one out of the old bell housing and it broke off. And so I'm waiting to get that, and we're starting a work weekend today. So I figured what better time than to go ahead and try to tackle this bus. Like every week I try to set a goal to get something done and accomplished before I go back to work. And I've had a lot of warm weather since I got this to do this. And it is probably about 50 degrees and windy. And yesterday I got out here and took it all apart, drained the fluid, pulled the pan, and the wiring harness on this Allison on the inside is just deteriorated and falling apart. So I'm really thinking that was the issue. So we changed out this 6-terminal transmission switch. We've already put a new Prindle switch on this thing, and it's throwing codes that's having problems with that. And that's why we're guessing it's going in limp mode. However, the harness, and here's our old factory harness out of the transmission. It was leaking out of the O-ring on the back, and all the plastic on it is just falling apart when I would touch it. So we have the replacement harness here, and the wind's gonna blow it off because it gives you an idea how hard the wind's blowing. And this sun is just so bright, which I'm not complaining about. I'd rather have the sun. And it's probably, my lighting sucks, but I absolutely refuse to work in a garage with all the doors shut up and all that stuff. I am all about the sun. So I'd rather have this in a cloudy day. But even what's cool, jumping back to what we're doing, is this transmission was pretty clean inside. So like, I really like buying stuff that came out of fleet service and everything. I usually take really good care of it, and this bus is no exception. So, all right. If you guys listen, you can hear that dyno down there running. But anyways, so we have the pan off our Allison transmission. We have, you can see where the harness goes here in the back. So I've got to take and thread it through there and run it back in there and plug that up. Then put the transmission filter on, and it's going to be good. So that's what we're working on now. I probably am not going to video that because I've got about an hour. And I need to get this done, so I'll check back in with you guys in a minute. Okay, so our transmission harness is installed intact. We've cleaned the surface. Got my homies over there rolling. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. They came over and started quacking in. But yeah, I got to put this transmission filter on it, put the gasket back on, and we're gonna go. Okay, everything's done, put back together. We're using this Castrol Transcend 668 is what it calls for. I got 2 gallons, it's about 130 bucks. Probably gonna need another gallon, so here we go. So yeah, I got out here the other day and completely changed out that harness in the Allison transmission. And so far I've drove it about 5 or 6 miles and it's working fine. So it's not going into limp mode yet. I still need to put a few quarts in this transmission fluid. I had to order some more of that. That stuff is expensive, but I mean, it's going in drive, reverse. It's so far so good. But yeah, the old Bluebird bus, I'm fingers crossed this is going to start working. I'm actually going to, I got to take a few more things out. I'm going to disconnect that water heater, kind of clean some stuff up and get it cleaned out. And I'm going to start driving it, like treating it like a pickup, because that's the thing. And I see this on all these schoolie videos. I don't see anyone doing any kind of like mechanical. They don't talk about the engines. They don't talk about the transmissions. They don't talk about any service to the air brake system or anything. And I think that is probably one of the most important things to get figured out, especially for me. I'm not a big diesel guy. I don't know a lot. This is the first diesel thing I've ever owned. I think it's absolutely imperative that you learn about those mechanicals before you get in here and spend $30,000 trying to outfit this thing to go somewhere, because if you've guys seen in my past videos and everything, when these things break down, they are expensive to get moved. And if you're 1,000 miles away from home, it may be you may have to abandon it situation, because it costs more than it's worth to get it hauled home or get it hauled somewhere. And so that's stuff that I think is totally, overlooked on those videos. So that's something to think about. These guys right here, they're always pulling up on me. Looking for trouble is what they're doing. But that's essentially what's going on. I just got to get some registration on this thing and get on the road. But probably the first thing, and I'll probably be able to get by in the wintertime with the tires, because they're not going to build a whole lot of heat and they're not spinning terribly fast. But I'm going to have to get at least 2 new front steers on it. The back ones are okay. I can get by, but I think once it gets hot and I want to get out on a trip, I think we're going to have to tire this thing up. All right, we're on our maiden voyage of the bus. We've made it about 5 miles. We're gonna go to Bristow, and I'm gonna fill this thing up with diesel. I've done everything I know to do. I've changed the fluids in it. We've changed the harnesses, so the Prindle switch, the other selectors, whatever that thing is in the valve body, I can't remember now, the wiring harness. It's full of really good high quality fluid. I don't know what else to do. So let's put a few miles on it, get it on the highway, and let's see if these tires will bust on this thing. I'm kind of worried about the front tires, but we got to know if it works, man. So that's how we do it. But if it breaks down, it's going to be $900 to get it towed back to the house. So it's like, I'm a little nervous. All right, we made it to the gas station in Bristow. We're gonna do this fuel thing again. See if this works better than the last time. So I'm not a big proprietor of eating gas station food at all. However, this place right here, Dax Market, that little spot right there, has a Stromboli that is so damn good, and their tea is really good. You gotta get the styrofoam cup. But I'm trying their breakfast Stromboli this time, and their regular Stromboli is, it's so good. It's worth a drive all the way up here. So now my new route is I cruise to Bristow when I'm testing stuff. Might as well. So let's get some fuel and let's hit the road. All right, let's hit that walk around. I'm still worried about these guys right here. This is probably going to be my next thing I try to take care of, if this thing passes my reliability test. However, it's looking like it's doing pretty good. I don't see no fluids blowing out of it or anything like that. Just gonna take a gander underneath, make sure that transmission fluid, the pan isn't blowing anywhere. Looking good. I say we motor on. Our next move is, will it start? Wait to start. Look at that. Waiting on the kiddo to get out of school, and that thing is money right there. That is a nice truck. Early 90s, late 80s Toyota, 4x4. Yeah, that is so slick. Alright, I can't believe I'm doing this, but you guys, check this out. The bus is about to get fancy, guys. So yeah, we're about to bling this rig up over here at Rhoda's Tires. All right, so we got the wheels and tires on, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. Don't pay attention to what's going on back here, but yes, this thing is looking pretty good. The 22 R's are looking sweet. Although I do need to remove the wheels, I'm gonna paint all the drums on it. But yeah, it's looking pretty slick. I gotta get a different kind of bottle jack, and I got a steel plate to where I could jack up the suspension and do one at a time. But yeah, I'm gonna repaint all these hubs, just kind of clean it up, you know. But I think it's turned out pretty darn good. So another thing we've also done is I've installed a receiver hitch on the back of this thing. You can already tell it's done. Sorry, I'm kind of slacking on you guys. I've just got busy, man. All this stuff going on. It's kind of getting harder and harder to do this video, and so but let me show you what I've got. So I watched another video. Actually, Matt sent it to me because we were gonna build a hitch, but this one YouTuber, I can't remember who he is now, but he gave me the part number for this Kurt receiver hitch, which is basically for an F-250 pickup truck. And sorry about my wiring, I gotta clean that up, but I'm kind of in a hurry. But yeah, I had to drill the holes in the frame. And this big cassette of weights right here, I was thinking only was a couple 100 pounds. That thing is way heavier, but we had to remove this, pry it up to get the bolts to drop down through the top. And that took a little bit of time, but it wasn't bad. But basically just a bolt-on setup, you know. Wasn't too bad. So we got that on there. And yeah, we're putting it to use. I had to tap into the back. But I had to tap in. You can see I've already camped in this thing a couple times out here. But yeah, I had to tap into the wiring. Well, you can see the harness right here runs on the top of the bus and run back here. So what I did is I removed this panel, tapped into the trailer light wiring, ran a cable down there. I'm gonna kind of clean that up later. But now I gotta clean my mess up, and I've got to hit the road. We're going across town, about 45 minutes away, so. I got it anyways. I got it anyways. All right, good morning, guys. So I've been doing some towing with the bus, and it's turning out pretty darn good. I've talked a lot of crap about these diesels and everything over time, just because they're expensive, and I don't have the need for a pickup like that with a diesel. The gas is doing what it needs to do. However, you know, transitioning from making two vehicles one, because you see I don't have my old camper anymore, I've got this. This is actually doing the work of what this does, plus I can stay in this. I'm gonna have air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. This cat right here, I can't get my fingers right, is pretty mean. She's always growling. But anyways, it's actually turning out pretty good, but I will say I'm having a few issues I'm working through, and I'm gonna show you guys what they are. So one issue that I'm having, now let me start off by saying this thing is running phenomenal. It has not been tuned to anything. And when you tow with this thing, it's wonderful, man. But the problem I'm having is when I've got a trailer on with even just the lightest thing or anything, that, and I think it's probably doing it when it's warmed up outside, is this thing usually runs about 195. But the problem is on a grade, or if I really get cooking down the highway, this thing will get almost 215, getting close to 220 when it's got a hard load on it going up a hill. But one thing I've noticed is this fan, when it hits about 215, it will come on. Now you notice this isn't like a regular style clutch fan. It's just sitting there loose. Okay, so what I found out is it's air actuated. An air valve actuates it and kicks that clutch on. Well, it's supposed to kick on about 195. Well, it takes about 215 for that thing to come on. It only stays on for 20 seconds and then it goes back off. I can let this thing, I let it sit for 2 hours and idle the other day and monitored it, and that fan never kicked on. It never got over 190. So I'm kind of wondering, do I have a problem with maybe the clutch, or should it? I saw some people online on a forum saying they just wired up that switch to like a toggle switch. That way they could actuate the fan when they want it to come on. So I'm kind of wondering what's up with that. So that's problem number one. The other problem is this thing runs about 105 PSI. Well, I can park this thing for about 20 minutes and it's done it just immediately. As soon as it's like it did it overnight. The front tank will get down to about 60 PSI in about 25 minutes. And the rear one will still hold up to about 90. So I've got an air leak. Those are the two issues I'm having with it. And it's like anything with something that's been sitting for, I think this 6 to 8 years this thing was sitting. It's going to have problems. And I think I'm slowly rolling up on about 400 miles on this thing. So it's time for, you know, the gremlins to rear their head. But I will say that this thing tows magnificently. Like that car trailer, you can't even tell it's on there. Like right now with this truck, you'll feel it somewhat. I actually like the whole thing's loaded on this pickup. It rides better. However, this thing, it doesn't care. I cannot tell the difference between having a car on that trailer or like the Blazer. I mean, I can only tell that Blazer on the trailer when I get about 60 to 65 on somewhat of a grade. You can feel it. But other than that, it actually feels like there's nothing back there. And I thought it was going to be harder to back this rig up than it was, but it's actually pretty maneuverable. Now, I can't get in places like I can with this, but I think it's going to do the job. So, yeah, I've got to figure out those next two problems and everything, but as of right now, it's a running rig. It's doing good. I mean, I can drive it, I can use it. I mean, it's working out pretty good. So, got to fix the air leak, got to find out why the fan's not really working as I think it should. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty awesome. It's working out well. So if you guys like, hit that subscribe, do all that same stuff we've been doing. I'll try to get reared up on making some more videos. I've just slowed up some because it's just, there's a lot going on, man. And this is a lot of work. So, yeah, just got to get it in the right place. So yeah, that's all that's going on now. So appreciate it, guys.